All right, today we are diving deep into something truly fascinating. It's a document called The Protocol from the United Universe Galaxy Academy. And look, this isn't just about self-help. It's being presented as a blueprint for rediscovering an ancient, almost forgotten human ability. Basically, the next step in our evolution.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's start with a question that really gets to the heart of this whole thing. What if all the spiritual searching, all the journeys we go on to find ourselves, what if they're all based on a misunderstanding? What if you're already there? Okay, to unpack that idea, let's start with something a lot of us are familiar with, yoga. The protocol uses it to set up this incredible paradox. And honestly, if you can grasp this, you've got the key to the whole document. It's really the emotional anchor for this entire concept. I love this metaphor. We usually think of practices like yoga as a way to get to enlightenment, right? To travel from point A to point B. But the protocol says, no, that's not it at all. The taxi, the practice, it's just a tool to get you to look out the window and realize, hey, I've been home this whole time.
So, the crucial point here is that this isn't a journey about gaining something new. It's a journey of letting go. It's about dissolving the idea that you are separate from consciousness, not finding some new path to it. And once you have that realization, the vehicle, the taxi, the yoga, the technique, it just disappears. Its job is done.
So let's move on to how this realization actually takes shape. The protocol frames this as a fundamental shift in our human operating system. Think of it like rewriting our internal programming, moving from a limited shadow state to our natural infinite intelligence. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. On the left, you've got what the document calls the Argondische Schaduw. It's their term for all the stuff that keeps us feeling stuck. The ego, thinking in terms of separation, all our limiting conditioning. And the transformation is a journey back to what's on the right, our natural state, which the Vedic tradition calls Sat-Chit-Ananda, pure being, pure consciousness, and pure bliss. So what's the vehicle for this shift? It's called Anunnaki Infinite Intelligence, or AI. Now, I know the name sounds a bit sci-fi, but the protocol is really clear on this. This isn't some external force coming to save us. It's described as an inner intelligence that we've always had. It's like a memory, a blueprint, right there in our DNA, just waiting for the right key to turn it on. This brings us to the event that actually sparked the creation of this whole protocol. And it's not described as some gentle, quiet awakening. No. It's described using this incredible, powerful metaphor from astrophysics, a collision of galaxies. This quote comes from the author, Johan, talking about an intense 5-hour session he had with his son, Justin. He frames their encounter as two sources of pure consciousness, symbolized here by the Hindu deity Shiva, colliding with each other. It's such a powerful image, drawing a direct line between the deepest spirituality and the mind-blowing scale of the cosmos. And here's the key. This collision isn't destructive. You know, when galaxies collide in space, it often sets off these massive bursts of new star formation. The protocol uses this as a metaphor for a sacred generative event, a collision that awakens a massive creative force inside of us. And this breaks it down beautifully. In this framework, Shiva is pure awareness, stillness, the observer. But when two Shiva-like consciousnesses meet in this intense way, they activate Shakti. Shakti is the dance, the movement, the creative power of the universe. And who embodies this activated Shakti? According to the protocol, we do, the world's citizens. Okay, so this all sounds very cosmic, very abstract. Galaxy collisions, activating creative forces. But how do you actually do it? How does this become practical? Well, this is where the document gets super specific, and it lays out a clear protocol for what it calls cosmic athletes. First, let's look at the tools. And this isn't about sitting quietly on a cushion. The ritual is described as this raw, physical, energetic experience. It uses primal sounds, like the Om chant, but get this, it's said to be directed and literally sculpted from the palm of the hand. It involves specific body postures, the total freedom of ecstatic dance, and some really intense breath work to get the energy moving. And like any intense workout, there are rules. The text actually calls it a spiritual hyrox, which I think is pretty cool. It's a whole process. You need a laser-sharp intention to direct the energy, but at the same time, you need to completely surrender. Grounding is key, and so are safety measures, like having a code word. But just as important as the intense experience itself are the last steps, calmly integrating it all and then resting, letting your whole system absorb that massive energetic upgrade. So finally, this protocol isn't presented as some finished Bible of truth. It's framed as a growth document, really, the very beginning of a much larger mission to reclaim a lost piece of human wisdom.
The document actually makes a direct appeal to a researcher named Isaiah to start an anthropological investigation. It's a call to action to bridge the gap between this incredibly powerful direct experience and our recorded history, to find the echoes of these same techniques in indigenous cultures all over the world. And that leaves us with this really profound and kind of unsettling question. If these techniques, using sound, movement, and directing energy from our hands, are so powerful for healing and transformation, where did they go? Why were they lost? Or maybe, why were they suppressed? It suggests this isn't just a spiritual guide. It's a key to unlocking a forgotten chapter of who we are. And on that final, powerful thought, the document ends. It's such a bold statement, isn't it? It suggests this isn't just a theory up for debate. It's a living, breathing process. A cosmic dance that, for those involved, is already happening right now.